From roadwork updates on George Washington Way to ensuring our fields are safe for play. These stories and so much more coming up next on Richland Now. Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Richland Now. I'm Michael Charbonneau. Work is progressing on the North George Washington Way improvements. Our contractor is still actively working on Phase 1 of the project, which is between Van Giesen to Sprout Street. The east one half is paved and all the concrete work is finished. Currently, the west one half is being paved between Snyder and Sprout with additional paving on the south end also finishing up. Additional work in the coming weeks is completing the concrete work on the west one half, miscellaneous underground utility work, and finalizing the paving. Closing out Phase 1 will require casting adjustments and final striping. Signal work at Van Giesen is delayed until later this year based on when the signal equipment will be delivered. Phase 2 work should start near the end of the month. Back in June, an asphalt rubberized chip seal was applied to George Washington Way from Aaron Drive to Jadwin Avenue. Shortly thereafter, the AR chip seal began cracking and peeling up. The issue was an extreme condition and reaction between the installed cracked seal, new AR chip, and the high temperatures with stop-and-go traffic. That combination resulted in some of the new chip and cracked seal to peel up. The city is aware of this issue and will be addressing the AR chip later this fall when the temperatures cool. The Dupertail Bridge project is progressing as anticipated. Several construction milestones were reached in August, including the third of 5 bridge deck spans was poured and left covered to cure for the required 2-week period. Concrete was poured to close the gap between previously poured deck span 4 and 5. Span 1 deck concrete will be poured in the first 2 weeks of September, and then work will continue progressing onto the final span 2 after that. Curb and gutter concrete was placed on the south side of the Yakima River, and the contractor will be working on grade preparation for the sidewalk on the north side. We pride ourselves in providing premier park and recreational activities for our community. Well-maintained parks and recreational facilities are key elements of a strong, safe, family-friendly community. Parks and facilities crews recently completed seasonal maintenance on our athletic fields by top-dressing them with sand. Crews top-dressed fields 1, 4, and 5 at Columbia Playfields and field 3 at Claybell Park. This treatment helps the fields play level, promotes a healthy root base, and reduces lawn diseases. This is the best time of year for seed germinating, so crews will also oversee our athletic fields. City of Richland Economic Development staff recently had the privilege of touring one of the largest food processing plants in the Tri-Cities region, the Richland Lamb Weston plant. The campus provides jobs to almost 600 people throughout the region. These employees make over 600 million pounds of frozen French fries annually. Staff also learned that any time you reach for a frozen potato product in the grocery store is more than likely a product produced by Lamb Weston, and depending on the type, produced in Richland. You will also find Lamb Weston potato products on menus all over the country and throughout the world. Treasure Valley Coffee is in the final stages of building a 20,000 square foot building in the Horn Rapids Business Center. This is a $1 million investment that opens their new headquarters and retail store with the eventual opening of a coffee shop named Roscoe's Coffee. The family-owned and operated company has been around for over 20 years in the area with distribution throughout Washington and northeastern Oregon. Currently, they have about 40 blends of coffee available, and at least a dozen of them have been developed in Kennewick. We are pleased to have them as part of the business park and look forward to watching and supporting their growth. Ben Franklin Transit closed down their Ninth Street Transit Center in September for renovations. Be advised that transit center operations have been relocated onto a nearby section of North Gate Drive, which has been temporarily closed to all other traffic to accommodate the frequent bus activity. The transit center has long needed improvements, including new asphalt and platform concrete, but the work will also include new amenities such as modern shelters, benches, lighting, and conduit for future digital signage. The work is scheduled to be completed before the end of the year. The Richland Walks curriculum continues with an urban greenbelt trail hike. This volunteer-led walk follows Richland's urban greenbelt trail, which is an urban path that encircles the central city. Along the way, we will talk about our city's history and look at pictures of Richland in early days. The UGT hike is Sunday, September 15th at 8 a.m. Meet at the Richland Community Center. In celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Manhattan Project, the City of Richland and other community partners are hosting Atomic Frontier Day, Saturday, September 14th. This event honors a community event popular in the early days of Hanford. Atomic Frontier Day resurrects life of the 1940s with music, games, and Hanford-related exhibits. There will be a community parade along George Washington Way, followed by a full day of activities in Howard Amon Park, complete with a mess hall dinner and storytelling at its finest. This fun educational activity brings early culture in Hanford to life and teaches about the history and legacy of our region. The event is free to the public with activities for the entire family. Richland Fire and Emergency Services continues to implement their Heart Safe Richland campaign by offering free CPR classes to our community. The Richland Fire Department has 3 one-hour Heart Safe classes scheduled in September at the Richland Community Center. Come learn simple yet effective CPR and AED techniques that can help you save lives. The first class is Monday, September 9th from 3 to 4 p.m. The classes are free, but you need to register by contacting David Everett by phone or email at the contact information below. To date, Richland Fire and Emergency Services has trained over 4,300 people through their Heart Safe campaign. If you would like more information on anything happening in the City of Richland, I strongly encourage you to visit our webpage at the link below. And don't forget, we are where you are. Find the City of Richland on all the popular social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Michael Charbonneau. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Richland Now.